gets it. And when we jumped in the studio together, it was obvious that he was really ready to do some next classic shit, and that's what we did, and that's how it went. And I see he's on the microphone. What's up, Mike?
We got the man right here.
Yes.
AK, Rob, what it do?
What's up, brother? I miss you, man. Good to have your presence. Good to hear your presence on this album, man.
What up?
Man, what was it? What was it when Alicia approached you about this, man?
Man, it was crazy, man. I was really, like she said, I was really chilling, and I got a text from Ann out of nowhere. She was like, "Man, yo, AK wanted to hop on the phone with you and see if like you were interested in like going in with her on this new album that she's working on." And I was like, "Man, hell yeah!" So she had set up the Zoom call, and then we had got on the Zoom call, and then like, man, I said this a couple times, man. I told AK, I was like, "Man, yo, man, you brought me diamonds, knowing that I'm King Midas, and told me to make jewelry." You know what I'm saying? And like that was like, that was like really like what it was. It was like she brought me like these jewels, and it was perfect because I felt like it hadn't really been an artist like that really let me like spread my wings as like a producer for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I done produced records. You know what I'm saying? I done produced standout songs on people's albums and like singles and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like going in on a project and then like you know what I'm saying, something like this where it's like, you know what I'm saying, like Alicia playing these amazing chords, singing amazing lyrics, and you know what I'm saying, and then her voice is amazing, and then she just let me like just go my direction with the production, like just fuck it up. And then it's like, man, I always wanted to do something like Portishead, or I always wanted to do something like just different and out the box. And I told her,
young king. Talk that talk, young king.
Yeah.
Talk that talk.
No, for real. And it was like, and I always wanted to do something that was like, because right before this project, it was like I was kind of getting bored with everything. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of getting bored. Like it's like, man, when I came in, it was like the sound that I was coming with was like against the grain, so it was fun. You know what I'm saying? But then that became like the normal. And then it was like they started like damn near like breaking down like my style of production, or like, you know what I'm saying, like where I come from, like in a sentence on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, so where do we go next? Because this is like the norm. And then it was like, man, when I was able to go in with AK, it was like, man, all right, boom, we can go left. And then we were like locked in the studio. It wasn't like she just sent me like a file and was like, let me see what he does with this. Like we were locked in the studio, and then if I ask her like, yo, we should add some more pianos right here, we should flip this right here, she gonna go in and do that, or either she'll come in and be like, hey, like, man, it's something about the second verse, like we just need to do something like this, or like, man, you need to flip how you chop the sample, you need to flip it some more on the MP. And like neither one of us were settling. Like we kept striving, and we kept pushing, and we kept pushing, and we kept pushing all the way to the mixes. Like sometimes I might get on certain artists' nerves because I might mix a song like 15 times, 20 times, but like AK might hit me at like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, like, yo, my bad, I ain't even mean to call you this late, but y'all was listening to this mix. What is it? It's something about the mix that's like kind of sounding crunched. I was like, yo, I was feeling the same thing, like, you know what I'm saying, and it was like, man, like we were like 24 hours like around the clock until we turn this project in, and I appreciate AK like rolling out the, you know what I'm saying, like just opening the door and like letting us come in, and like is it insane? Like my boy P Nasty had an accordion player come to the studio, and like we had an upright bass player come in the studio, and we could just add layers on layers and layers. And I knew we were creating art, so it was all about like putting the right layers together, and I knew we were creating like a new sound. So it was just like the right layers and not too many layers, and not going too far left, and just making sure everything is going the right direction. And you know what I'm saying? It was just like, I feel like we hit the target.
Yes. Real connection.
That's amazing. Mike, I just want to, and I've told this to you in one-to-one conversations, and now that we got this room full of people, I know we get to comparing producers, and everybody picks their favorite or whatever, but I just want to recognize Mike Will's specialness and his greatness, the way that he transcends. When we first heard you on the you've done it on every level, from mixtapes with Gucci and 2 Chainz, and really in the streets, in the mud in Atlanta, to Meek Mill Back, like your first. I think that was the first album placement. I mean, we're talking big, huge #1 records, Grammy Award winning records with, Kendrick, with, Beyonce, with Rihanna, to also going out of hip hop, going out of R&B with Miley Cyrus, right? To finding new artists and introducing us to new talent with Ray Shremmer, to doing this with Alicia. I just want to salute you, because I think you're when we talked about no ceilings before, you're a guy that never recognized the ceiling, never recognized the box, never let your thing get stagnant. And I think we'd be remiss if we just didn't salute you for being that special and forward thinking, man. So shout out to you, brother.
Same.
Man, appreciate that, Rob. Hey, Rob, you gotta tell them the story. You gotta tell them the story in New York, bro.
Oh, the story about
man, it's only one story in New York. It's only one.
Rob got the story,
Mike Will, the reason that I met Beyonce. Mike Will says, yo,
calm down, Rob.
Yeah, what?
No.
Wait, everybody calm down.
Yo, everything's respectful, son. Everything's respectful, son.
I'm joking.
You know you my man from Brooklyn.
I'm joking,
Mike.
Guys. Relax. I'm joking.
Yo, Mike, who's that out my window?
My man from Brooklyn don't really play like that, son.
Mike invited me to the studio to listen to some records, and we were just hearing some unreleased joints, and B walks in. This is probably it was like July was the month, I remember, and she walks in. I think we was in the B room too. It was just like a small room, and she was like, "Yo, can you pull up that record we've been working on?" And it was Formation. At the time. So this is like July, we heard that at the Super Bowl, so that's what, January, February. So hearing a version of Formation that they were working on and got to sit in on that, and, was amazing. So I always thank Mike for that experience. And B was also like, yo, you're not going to say anything, right? Like, I worked at MTV at the time, so she was like, please, like, absolutely not. Kept my mouth shut. It was the biggest secret I had to keep.
And the crazy part about it was, like, B wasn't even supposed to be at the studio that day. I had just landed in New York. She wasn't supposed to be at the studio that day, but I just told Rob. I was trying to see because Rob always supports, but I was like, man, let me see if he's gonna pull up on me. I wanted him to meet my new artist, and then I wanted him to hear some of the songs. And then B, she wasn't supposed to be at the studio that day. She was supposed to be at the studio the next day. And then Rob pulled up to the studio, and then my manager had texted me and was like, yo, they said Beyonce gonna come to the studio today. So I ain't even tip him or nothing. I was just like, man, she might show up, she might not. And that was my first day, like, in the studio with her. You know what I'm saying? And she came in and boom, we were doing Formation. But that was dope, man. Like, salute Rob, always being a real one, always supporting, always just, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like everybody on this stage, like, Ho, salute you for always supporting, you know what I'm saying, since we met, you know what I'm saying? And AK, man, salute you for, like, really giving me this, like, you know what I'm saying, opportunity, like this platform as a producer to continue to expand and grow, you know what I'm saying, at a point where I felt like, man, like, you know what I'm saying, like, what's next? And like, this, you know what I'm saying, like, all of that has been inspiration, for real.
Yes.
Real quick, AK. Since I went rogue, I got to be the bad guy to put us back on track. AK and J, because of who they are, just obviously have to go soon.
But they're human, like the rest of us.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on, let's be serious. But I do want to make space for N.O.R.E. if there's something he wanted to say. I know he's on stage. And if we got to kind of wrap it up because you know.
Good morning, N.O.R.E. What's up,
My simple. First off, big up to everybody.
N.O.R.E. By the way, rich people always their Wi-Fi. I mean, it's terrible. Why N.O.R.E. phone is always the worst? Like,
I'm on the beach, God. I'm on the beach.
That's why.
Yeah, I'm on the
I ain't
beach,
mad at
God.
you, N.O.R.E.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's why. What is
yeah,
that?
I'm sorry. I'm walking in the house
You
now.
sound like you in a hallway.
Oh, I got my headphones on. You know, young Brooklyn dudes always got jokes, man. You gotta relax, man. You gotta relax. Yo, but let me just tell you, hey, Keys, listen. You are the only person. I've been doing this show for 5 years, going on 6 years. You are the only person who ever gave me their material first to study. And I was so much of a bozo that I didn't even realize it was a double album. I only downloaded the one part. So when we had the notes, I only had one part of the notes. So I thought that was hilarious. I thought you was real dope for that. But this is the only thing that I want to tell you. This is something I want to tell you too.
I'm ready.
I have grown men come on my show. And get drunk and they out of their mind and then the next day they regret everything. You probably the only person that had no edits.
Listen, hold on. This is a major statement
gangster.
N.O.R.E.'s making right now.
That is gangster. This grown men who have 1,400 edits. They knew they was drinking. They knew they was drinking that Ace of Spades. They knew what they was smoking.
Nice plug. That's my guy. That's my guy.
So they
Wait.
knew what they was doing, and I swear to God, we was waiting for you day in and day out, expecting your team to be like, N.O.R.E., take this out, and take this out. And you had no edits. And I want to say that is the most gangster ever.
Girl, N.O.R.E., I think you just told me that I'm the drink champ. Period. I think that just got said. Nah, N.O.R.E., I you know how I feel about you, man, and I got super love from you for so long. And I have to say that was the best interview of my life. I had a ball. I feel like
she said it, y'all.
Listen, I'm the drink champ, and he happened to give me the best interview because it was honest and it was genuine and it was for real, and it was like it just felt like I felt like I was on 137 between Fifth and Lenox. It felt so good. I was right there, man. So I appreciate, and I'm real proud of you. We're all proud of you, man. We love your show. Everybody looks for it. They can't wait to see what's coming next. And you on to some other thing. We love it.
Well, I was going to go to bed after this, but I'm popping the bottle of Ace of Spades right now.
Let's go. Because we celebrating Keys.
Again.
Yes.
He's the greatest.
We celebrate this Keys record, so you better pop it.
That's right.
I might be calm right now, but inside I'm jumping up and down right now. You know what I mean? That's a great compliment. I hear you out there, Hobie. I don't know how I'm gonna get you on the show, but we're gonna figure it out somehow. You know what I mean? But
He won't be able to outdrink me though. So
no, ma'am.
Right.
No, ma'am.
Just saying.
AK and Jay, I know Rob already said it, but like your presence is a present, and we really do appreciate you. We'd love to give you the floor to close it out. If there's anything you want to say, to close this out, please feel free to. The floor is obviously has been yours and is yours.
Peace.
Hey.
So, AK, you go. It's all yours.
Thank you.
It's your floor.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for joining this special conversation. I said that this was going to be a legendary conversation.